Welcome to the Happy Healthy Life Podcast with your hosts, Rob and Randy, who reveal the truth, the lies, and confusion about health so that you are no longer the victim to mainstream medical dogma and you are the hero to your own happy, healthy story.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Happy Healthy Life Podcast with your hosts, Rob and Randy.
Randy, what is up, guys? Dr. Rob, great to be back in studio, man. This is, if anybody wondered where we went, we didn't go anywhere. Don't call it a comeback. We've been here for years, and we're back stronger than ever and revitalized coming off our weekend.
Words from LL Cool J. Today, we are going to be talking to you about the 4 tips to having a healthy metabolism, even losing weight when you are traveling. I know a question that we get from a lot of people is, how is it that I can be able to maintain a healthy weight? How is it that I can be able to maintain a healthy metabolism while I'm training? What do I do? Can I eat out? What kind of foods should I eat? Should I reduce my calories while I'm doing that? Because I always go on vacation and it seems like I need to go on a diet when I get back. Today is about teaching you how to not have to go on a diet. When you come back from vacation, you can actually be down a net 3 pounds like I am. And I know you're down as well since traveling.
Yeah, about 2 pounds. Yeah,
exactly. So here's the thing. So last week we were out. I actually went to take my son Jacob up to school at University of Denver in Denver, Colorado, 10-hour trek up there. And then after getting him all moved in, which, man, that was super surreal. Can you believe that? Jacob is in college. How in the world do I have a college age kid?
Dude, I don't know, but great job, man. You're an awesome dad. Just want to say that. And Jacob is an awesome young man with a bright future. And it's pretty exciting. He is a very handsome, happy, healthy dude. And so anyway, yeah, it is. But that went quick. I can imagine you are like quicker than you can even imagine.
Can I also say this? He is happy, healthy to the degree that Jacob, to this day, has never been to a medical doctor.
Yeah.
He's never had a drug or a medication.
Yeah.
He's never had a vaccine. He was born 100% naturally, no drugs involved. So he really is 100% drug-free, medication-free, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah. He's the prime example of how we overvalue our current healthcare. And I use the word healthcare in parentheses, but we overvalue our healthcare system. We just depend on it and rely on it, and we run everything through it to get permission on what to do next, when nothing about our system is designed to create healthy people. It's a sick care system. It's really only for crisis. So if you're dependent and reliant on that system, or if put your medical doctor in the position of running all healthcare decisions through, you're finding out that's not working. They know it. The system's letting us down. All the more reason to take amazing control of your health and live your happiest, healthiest life, which could never be induced by drugs, vaccines, medications, and fake food. So that's one of the reasons why we do this. The world needs more Jacobs out there that are unadulterated, living their best life and really understand what health is. I can't even imagine what type of immune system that Jacob has built through all these years to never have ever had been on a medication. I'm like really happy for him, but I'm also very jealous because I didn't stop taking drugs or medications until my late, actually my mid-20s. I haven't had a medication in my body since 1999, not even an Advil, Tylenol, nothing, but I had to make a lot of mistakes getting to that point. So
yeah, absolutely. So that right there is literally living the happy, healthy lifestyle from the very beginning. And if we're being honest, that really is what our mission, our purpose is to be able to teach people how to be able to live a happy, healthy life even before they're born.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Come into this world living like that. So let's
go with us. Come with us. Yes.
For sure. All right. So let's get
yeah.
Okay. So how is it that you can have a healthy metabolism, travel, and still have a great freaking time enjoying all the foods that you love, doing the things that you love doing? And I think the number one thing is being intentional, right? That's about being intentional with your lifestyle and really having, a plan. My plan is to always be healthy. So knowing that I was going to be driving 10 hours to Denver, I already knew that I was going to fast. I was going to do a 24-hour fast, meaning that I was going to eat at 7 o'clock the night before. I wasn't going to eat again until 7 o'clock the next day, which is something that you can do, like we talk about in the podcast, when your body is already fat adapted. because if your body isn't fat adapted, you have more of a tendency to glide into those gas stations on the way to Denver.
Buc-ee's.
And yeah, like we didn't see any Buc-ee's going that way.
I still don't get that phenomenon, but anyway, yeah, the big thing here in Texas.
Yeah. What are the beaver nuggets or something like that? I don't even know what those things are called, but yeah, because then you're going to want a snack. If your body's not fat adapted, your body's going to crave those sugars, the sweets. And so one of the main things is, as you're traveling like that, even if you are planning on having a lunch, be intentional, prepare. That's point number 2, is prepare ahead of time, knowing that you're going to be doing that. Take good, healthy foods with you so that you're not tempted to snack on all the junk foods. And don't do like, I know my parents did this when I was growing up, man. They would freaking load like sackfuls of like Skittles, M&Ms, Snicker bars, you name it, all of that stuff. So guess what? If you prepare like that, you're going to eat that crap. So don't put that crap in there. Prepare ahead of time with some good, healthy foods so that you don't have to worry about doing those things. In my case, I just didn't worry about it, which is even better, because I didn't eat until dinner once we were already in Denver, Colorado.
So then what about the person listening or watching who's like, that sounds great, you did a 24-hour fast. By the way, the benefits of that are insane. Yes. Not to mention in men, I think the data says about a 2,000% increase in growth hormone, which is the anti-aging holy grail hormone. And then I think in women, they get about a 1,300% increase. So you're really anti-aging, turning back the clock, tapping into stem cell, really burning fat for fuel at a very high level. But some people are like, man, there's no way in the world I could travel or get on a plane or get in a car and go more than 4 or 5 hours without eating food. So what would you say then, Dr. Rob, to those people who are like, that's scary as heck, and that's not really applicable for me because I'm hungry all the time?
I would say go back and listen to previous podcasts where we do talk about food timing and ease your way into this, because instead of doing a 24-hour fast, you could do a 16-hour fast. And so instead of waiting until 7 o'clock the next day to eat, you could eat at 11 or 12, but then that goes back to preparing ahead of time so that you have that food with you. You know, maybe it's your grilled chicken with your SCT oil, all right, in your little Tupperware. I guess Tupperware is not a thing anymore.
Yeah, of course it is. I think they even still do Tupperware parties, right?
Okay, yeah. So whatever you bought at your
they're called BPA parties now.
Oh God. Yeah. So whatever you're going to do, but just prepare ahead of time so that way you have that food with you as you're traveling. Yeah,
and I think that one of the problems, or maybe where some anxiety could set in thinking about not eating, because listen, if you can't go more than 5-6 hours without eating, that's a real problem. That means you are definitely not fat adapted. Your metabolism is not flexible. There's no metabolic flexibility where it can go in and out of fat burning whenever it needs to. It's a really dangerous sign that you're insulin resistant. So you don't actually absorb and utilize sugar. You actually burn sugar and then you store all your calories as fat. So that means you're either a diabetic or you're going to be a diabetic because you're not metabolically healthy. So I think a lot of people, it's two things: either that you really are hungry all the time. And if you are hungry all the time, that's a great sign. It's a telltale sign that you have poor metabolic function, or you really just have believed something that wasn't true and you were conditioned. So you just wake up, you have breakfast, you're not even thinking about it, whether you're even hungry or not, or you're having a snack midday, you're having a soda, you're having a bite of a cookie, a handful of almonds. You're just kind of unconsciously snacking and eating your 3 squares of snacks. And it may not even be because you're hungry. It may just be because you're conditioned to think that way. So it freaks you out. I was even looking at when I was at the airport flying to Miami for our mastermind event, that in the airport, it's like, 7 o'clock in the morning and every food restaurant is open. The lines are out the door as everybody's lining up to buy snacks and breakfast sandwiches and sodas. And it's like 7:15 in the morning. Is that really something that you have to have? It was like a 2.5 hour flight. You can't go 3 hours before we get food in your belly again. So either you are hungry, which is a metabolic warning sign if you wake up hungry, or you've just been conditioned.
No, it's 100% conditioned. It's habitual, because what have we been taught? you got to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So if I get to the airport and my flight's at 9 a.m., I better eat breakfast before I get onto the plane. So then it's snack time once I get into the plane and I'm getting my pretzel or my cookie and my soda while I'm in the plane, because that's how we've been conditioned. It's breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but it's really not breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, snack.
Yeah, we know the average American, I believe, eats 17 times a day. It takes about 30 to 40 calories to break a fast. So it doesn't take much. And you're just constantly putting things into your body. But a prime example of that, when you were talking about living life by intention. So obviously on the airplane, I'm looking to the lady beside me and, we're both going to Miami, but we're not going with the same intention. Because, I'm there, I've got a just black coffee. I got a sparkling water, obviously not hungry, feeling great. It's early in the morning, yet she's got the breakfast sandwich with the soda. And on a side note, because remember, it's not just calories in, calories out. It's what is happening hormonally to your body when you eat and what you're eating. So remember, when you're eating refined sugar, refined processed grain, and seed oil, you're triggering hunger. So she's putting on the hand sanitizer, wiping into her hands, which is full of endocrine disruptors and carcinogenic chemicals, which, by the way, doesn't prevent COVID. She
doesn't want whatever's on her hand to go up underneath the mask.
She did. She was pulling the mask up, still wearing a mask up, so she's not getting oxygen, pulling the mask down as she's eating to pull it back up, putting these chemicals. By the way, remember, think about hand sanitizers. They're antibacterial. COVID is a virus, does nothing to prevent COVID. And now you're wrecking the microbiome, which is very important, which is having good, healthy bacteria on our body, in our body. It's very important to the immune system.
Did you make sure you didn't touch her?
Yeah, I didn't want to get near or touch her. Yeah, well, I kind of think I put my hand on the armrest and she started hugging the window.
Ruined the whole day.
It did. But she's eating. And then check this out. So she's had the breakfast, and this is not a shot against her. This is like 80% of the people on the plane are doing this.
Yep.
Then she has the breakfast sandwich, the soda, the hand sanitizers, and all that stuff. Then an hour later, the people are going down the aisle, the flight attendants, and now they're offering more sodas and drinks and the cookie and the pretzel. So she gets the cookie and the pretzels along with another soda, and she's probably maybe 30, 40 pounds overweight. And I'm thinking, man, this is really heartbreaking because she's probably just living this unconscious way of living, just snacking, eating, not thinking about her health, not thinking about being around for her grandkids or performing. I don't know where she was going to Miami, but she looked like on her laptop, there were some really important things she was working with. I'm thinking, how can you even be focused, be clear, be sharp, feel confident? So it just looks like that's too common in our country. Yet I'm on this plane. I have no hunger. I'm feeling great, going into a very important weekend with our mastermind group of some of the most elite level health professionals and key leaders in the world, which was insane. But I wanted to be mentally sharp, clear, feeling my best. It was just a big 180 contrast with that. And so a lot of that is just like not knowing what to do, not living with intention. But then, like I said, a lot of that could be triggered because we're either conditioned the wrong way, or we believe things that aren't true, or we really are hungry. And when you live a life of hunger, when you're not healthy, when your body is not burning fat for fuel, you're going to make really, really bad decisions. That's just a fact.
Absolutely, because we already know. I mean, sugar's like it's a drug.
Sure it is.
And so here's why it's important that you guys also share this podcast with other people, because it's like Randy was saying, it really becomes just ignorance. People just don't know. You would be just shocked at how many times we're even out at different places. It may even be like at a coffee shop, and the people in front of you in line, as they're ordering, they're having a conversation with their friend, trying to justify why it is that they're having the latte with cream in it and no sugar. Well, they're still not understanding where the heck that cream came from, and the fact that also is sugar going into their coffee.
It's not cream.
As they're talking about, instead of getting the kolache, they're actually getting the bacon and egg quiche that has the crust on it. So there's just a lot of unconsciousness going on, and not understanding how that's even affecting their body, because it's funny to me how everybody in the coffee shop is also a health expert, and just listening to each other give themselves health advice. There's a reason why those people are also, and you look at them, and again, like you said, it's not a slide against them. It's not a judgment. It just is what it is, because a lot of those people are also overweight, inflamed, and you sit there and listen to them talk about all their chronic health conditions as well, and all the medications that have been given to them by their doctors. And then they'll also say in the same sentence, you know what? I'm actually really healthy. The only thing that I'm taking right now is cholesterol medication.
And I'm on the lowest dose.
And yeah, exactly. So it's just funny. So be intentional, be prepared with it. So for me personally, on this trip, like, so the next day, so what do I do the next day? So the next day I wasn't doing a 24-hour fast every day. So the next day I'm just going to make sure that I do what I normally eat, and that's eat 2 meals a day. I'm not going to be snacking. So the next day we went to lunch with some friends. We went to a Mexican restaurant. It was amazing. Best view ever. We're looking at the Rocky Mountains. And because it's a Mexican food place, I get the guacamole. I'm making sure I'm intentional with making sure I'm getting good fats. I've got our SCT oil with me. I'm putting trace minerals on my food because the trace minerals help to open the cells up to ensure that I'm getting the nutrients into the cells that I need in order to be able to make sure I have a healthy functioning metabolism. And instead of eating the chips, though, I got some sliced carrots, sliced cucumbers to be able to dip in the avocado versus the chip. And you know what? It was absolutely delicious. But again, I'm being intentional, and I don't feel even for a second like I'm depriving myself of something that I want. And a lot of that is because my body is fat adapted. I'm not craving the chips. I'm not craving anything sweet. I'm not craving sugar. I'm not craving any of those things because my body is fat adapted.
Totally. And I think that's one of the rules, I think, of traveling and how to support your metabolism and not gain weight. It's really easy to make lateral moves like that. That was a lateral move where you went from having, chips, probably with genetically modified corn, deep fried in vegetable and seed oil, full of oxidative free radical stress to the body and the immune system. Obviously, that's a seed oil. It's going to make you hungrier. And you just went from there to having cucumbers and still having the guacamole and the salsa and the benefits of those healthy fats. So it was really nice move. Well played, sir. Gutsiest move I ever saw, Mav. Well, maybe not the gutsiest, but it's pretty good. But one of the things I do as well, and I know you do this, is really focusing on, I don't worry about any type of caloric restriction. It's the worst possible strategy that you can do, because remember, your metabolism doesn't like to function under deficits. If you cut calories all the time, you're just wrecking your metabolism. But I focus on eating as much real food as I want. I don't worry about it. I eat as much food as I want. I just keep it on the real side. So what's the definition of real food? Set something on the counter, come back in 2 weeks. If it doesn't look different, it wasn't real. It was preserved. It was more likely preserved with processed grain, chemicals, and seed oil. Remember, at a previous podcast, we talked about this, how seed oils impact the same neurological receptors of the brain that cannabis does. So that cannabinoid system, which can give people the munchies, when you eat seed oil, it makes you hungry.
Speaking of cannabis,
yeah.
There's a dispensary on every freaking corner in Denver, Colorado. I just side note, you said cannabis. I was like, is this a weed shop or a church? Right?
Yeah.
The Holy Garden, not a church.
Not a church. It's a holy garden of weed.
It is. So we played that game the whole
devil's
time.
lettuce, right?
Weed shop or church. It's funny. Restoration.
Yep.
Yeah, there's not a church. It's a weed shop as well. So
yeah.
That out there.
No, well, I appreciate that. I don't partake in that, but if I ever did, I know where to go now. Thank you. Very valuable.
Denver, Colorado. You're
that's
set.
The place to go. Everybody listening from Denver is like, heck yeah. But no, but seriously, by when you eat seed oil, you actually make yourself more hungry. So you're going to keep snacking and eating more food. So like it's this vicious cycle. So one of the simplest things you can do, number one, is stop eating seed oil and replace seed oil with your saturated to medium chain fatty acids, your short chain fatty acids. So even before I travel, I'll load up on short chain triglycerides, our SCT oil, to really get the liver, the gut, and the brain primed to burn fat. And so really SCT oil stands for sugar cravings terminated.
100%.
We even got a testimony from Kim in Sacramento. If you want to read what she said, which was really, really cool, because if you're hungry, remember, you're burning sugar and you're storing fat versus the 180 of burning fat and going through sugar stores normally when your metabolism is flexible. But if you eat seed oil and grain and sugar, you're going to stay hungry 24/7. What's that doing to your health over the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years?
Yeah, not good.
Not good.
Yeah. So what she said was, as a result of utilizing the SCT oil, is that her sugar cravings were gone.
Yeah.
And it helped to heal her digestion. Her digestion was much better, which again, for a lot of people that travel, they start having digestive issues just with the altitude and everything, as far as flying and things like that, being in a different place. And so you want to have great poops while you're traveling. SCT oil is the ticket right there. You will digest your food and have fantastic. We talk about poop.
Well, unlike MCT oil, where you get, they call it disaster pants, where it goes in one end and it goes a lot quicker out the other end. So absolutely. No bueno.
No, for sure. So really this next point then is to Randy's point, is it's really quality over calories.
Yes.
You're looking at the quality of the food that you're eating versus the calories. And it was really fun too, this past weekend while we were at that mastermind in Miami, is just to be able to see people coming up to us that are like, oh my gosh, I've been using the SCT oil. We had a Dr. Jeff come up, and he's there with his beautiful wife, Carrie. And he's like, Dr. Rob, here's a problem that we have, is we order cases of SCT oil for our patients. And we end up using the majority of them because we were just addicted to the SCT oil because of what it's doing for our digestion, getting rid of our sugar cravings. It tastes delicious. And we know it's a healthy way to do things. And so, so kudos to them, not only them, but I mean, Dr. Nicholas that was there, not doctor, but Nicholas, he should be a doctor.
He really should be.
He could be a doctor, but Nicholas, who was there. So we saw him at a mastermind in Cabo in January. We started talking to him. He ended up doing our virtual program. And when we saw him this past week, and he was down 35 pounds, I was having a conversation in the hall, and I see these two guys start walking up, and I looked over, I'm like, I didn't recognize who they were. And then once they got closer, I looked at him, I'm like, oh my gosh, Nick.
Insane. Didn't even look like the same person.
Didn't even recognize him.
So big shout out to Nicholas Zaldistani. He's the CEO of Brain Tap, the founder, Dr. Patrick Porter. Those guys are insane. In fact, we're working with these guys now, some really cool stuff coming on developing a happy, healthy brain tap to make sure that we're helping with the light therapy, the brain, changing the subconscious on how we see ourselves and helping us be more effective at reaching our goals. So more to come on that, but it was really cool to see that. In fact, we had brunch before we left Miami on this last Sunday.
Arguably the best brunch I've ever had in my life.
Not even arguably. So another shout out, Four Seasons Miami. Good Lord, off Brickell. That buffet, because I'm not a buffet guy. I don't like buffets. Just a bunch of low quality, massive amounts of food.
Let's just not call it a buffet. I'm just going to call it brunch.
It was unfreaking believable. So highly recommended. Yes, we did. And I came back 2 pounds less, which is pretty cool. But at brunch, Nicholas, he's going through our reset phase right now. He lost the 35 pounds in the 5 weeks on our metabolism program. Obviously, he did that virtually. He lives in Durham, North Carolina, but we're pushing his metabolism to get him to try to gain weight, because once your metabolism is healed, which we've proven can only take a few short weeks, you have to eat a lot of food to even gain weight because he's burning so many. So he was like, I can't gain weight. I'm like, all right, today we're going to see if we can get you to gain weight. So he had texted me when he got back the next day on Monday. He's like, all that food and a few of the drinks that we had still couldn't gain weight, which is a really cool sign that once you heal your metabolism, you're never stuck to caloric restriction ever again. And now you can really enjoy those times, not overindulging every day, but how fun is it to be able to go away on a weekend and not have to be perfect and not pay for it? There's a lot of luxurious benefits to a healthy, robust metabolism where your body's fat adapted, you're insulin sensitive, and you've got that flexibility. It's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun because even after you left, Nick came back to the table, and I think he had like one of every single dessert that they had. So so you can do those things, because I can remember a time where I definitely wouldn't have got my money's worth because my metabolism wasn't working at one time.
Yeah.
And I would have been like, okay, I'm just going to have, in my mindset would have been, I'm going to have the foods in the brunch that are the most low calorie foods.
Yeah.
I may have eaten like the shrimp or eaten some of the meat because they didn't have any calories in them, rather than enjoying a lot of those luxuries. and not having to worry about it because, after being gone for 7 days, I was down a net 3 pounds getting back.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there you go. And
I've known you for a very long time. And that was something you weren't really metabolically capable of. It's really cool to see. And just like we've talked about, really becoming, you're really that CEO now of your metabolism. You're the captain of your own metabolic ship, for lack of a better analogy. I don't know, but it feels so awesome to be in control of your health, your metabolism, and not being this victim where you're like, you're blaming your genes, you're blaming your age, you don't know what's going on. Your doctor's giving you advice. And obviously that hasn't been working for 25 years. You still keep going back to them, asking them for more advice. If somebody gives me bad advice once, I may have to give them a side eye the next time. It's weird and crazy how we put so much faith in a system that has no incentive for us to be healthy. They make money when we're sick. By the way, they recommend vegetable oils and seed oil and low fat. Did you know that? Our own doctors do that, which makes you hungry. The research shows it wrecks your thyroid, which makes you more sick, which means you need more drugs. So we got to be thinking about the powers that be that are telling us what to do. They make a lot of money when we follow their advice. So, if what you're doing is not working, hey, time to do something different. You got to wake up, get out of the system, take charge of your health. The happy, healthy life we just told you earlier, come with us. It's freaking amazing.
Absolutely. So next time you're in the store and you see that box of whatever cereal and it says endorsed by the American Heart Association, realize they had to freaking pay for that. So it's not a free thing. So you just got to follow the money.
Yeah.
So again, like this, share it.
Please.
By the way, we have something really exciting coming up in the next few weeks. We're actually going to be launching a challenge to be able to help you guys have a healthier metabolism. For our listeners, everybody, we've been getting messages. How do I start doing what it is that you guys are talking about? How do I have a healthier metabolism? So we're going to get you guys information on how to be able to do that so that you guys can be able to be ready, fat adapted, moving into the holidays and starting the new year off right. So again, like this, share it.
Really quickly, I wanted to comment. We had a lady, name was Jolene, who reached out from Wisconsin, who'd heard us. And she's basically asking this question, which I think this is going to help solve that. But she's like, I love the SCT oil, but I'm really curious, how do I get to live or eat in the way that you guys do it? What does that really look like? I'm like, perfect. So yeah, because we like to live what we preach. We're going to reveal and show you the exact strategies that we live, that we've now helped over 10,000 people with, to get fat adapted, to live your best life, and to create crazy amounts of energy in this launch. So if you're curious, hit us up. We'll obviously have more details coming, but yeah, we're going to provide some real solutions, and it's going to be super fun. And I think it's going to meet a need and answer a lot of questions that people have about what do I really do, and there are answers.
Yeah. So if you have any questions, DM us on Instagram at the H2 life, the H2 life. That's where we're at. DM us with any of your questions. We'd love to answer them. And with that, you know what? This is episode number 12. We'll see you on episode number 13. You guys have a great week.
Love you guys.
Thanks for listening to the Happy Healthy Life podcast. If you enjoy the show, make sure to follow them on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook at The Happy Healthy Guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and review the show wherever you listen to podcasts.